Have you ever heard of the Jerusalem syndrome, Dr. Strangelove syndrome, or foreign accent syndrome? These are examples of many awkward medical conditions that's out there. In this video, I'll talk about top 5 most awkward medical conditions ever. So stay tuned. Hello my friend, welcome to ChatterDocs. I'm Dr. Tor and I'm an internal medicine physician. In this channel, we believe that learning about health does not have to be boring. Now, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you'll never miss anything. Number 1, foreign accent syndrome. In this condition, people would overnight develop a foreign accent like Spanish or French. The funny part is they usually don't even know how to speak that language. This syndrome is caused by damage to a part of the brain that's responsible for speech. The most common cause is stroke, but it can happen also due to trauma, tumors, or other neurological conditions like multiple sclerosis or MS. The accent is not usually very good and the native speakers would recognize. Now, is there any treatment for this condition? Well, speech therapy would help, but it usually takes a long time to recover, sometimes even up to years, but it also can be permanent. Now, the good news is this condition is very rare. It was first described in 1907 and so far only 100 people are diagnosed with it. How scary could it be if your hand started to think for itself? Now imagine how scarier could it get when it starts to do things on its own, like in Dr. Strangelove syndrome, one hand starts to do stuff on its own and the person is not able to control it. Oftentimes when they try to do things with their normal hand, the crazy hand would start interfering and counteracting the normal hand. Jesus. It's named after a classic movie in 1964 in which the main character cannot control his own hand. This fortunately very rare condition is also referred to as alien hand syndrome or AHS. It's usually caused by a stroke or a tumor or a surgery that affects corpus callosum, which is a structure that connects between two hemispheres. So it makes sense if the two hemispheres are not talking to each other, one decides to go crazy and do crazy stuff. Now what if the crazy hand decides to punch the person in the nuts? Well, in that case the patient would have a second syndrome called broken nut syndrome. Number 3, tree man syndrome. I'm pretty sure you've seen the pictures of tree man on the internet. Pretty awkward, right? Tree man syndrome, or as doctors would like to call epidermodysplasia verruciformis, is an inherited disorder in the skin in which extensive wart-like lesions would develop on the skin. The cause, just like the regular wart, is human papillomavirus. By the way, have you seen my video on human papillomavirus? If not, click up here. It's very different from regular warts though. The whole body will be covered by extensive lesions and the person would usually lose ability to do stuff because of those lesions. Unfortunately, there's no treatment for this condition except for surgical intervention and chopping off those lesions, or maybe calling the lumberjack. That was mean. Number 5. Number 5, Jerusalem syndrome. In this condition, after visiting the Holy Land, the person would start having obsessive ideas, cleaning and grooming obsessively, and also even having religious delusions. They may even start wearing white robes and sermonizing. Ameno dorime. These people usually don't have any previous psychiatric condition, and fortunately, usually after 5 to 7 days, they go back to normal and start regretting their behavior. While I believe these were the top 5 awkward medical conditions, I know there's hundreds if not thousands of other awkward medical conditions out there. Now, if you have heard of any, comment down below and I'll make a video later about it. Thank you for watching and do not forget to share this with your friends.